Thank you very much. I'd like to extend my appreciation to the organizers of this event and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's been a very interesting experience for us going forward. Now to make sure I get this right. Impact Silver is a rather unique product. We've actually been in production as a company 12 years. We're the purest silver play on the exchanges today. 95% of our revenue is from silver. What makes it somewhat unique as well is the volatility of the stock compared to the price of silver. Our leverage is extremely high. And as you can see, where the price of silver went up in January 2016 by 50%, our stock responded by 854%. That volatility creates issues and also opportunity. And it's one of the things that makes us very special. Not only are we a producer, we are in the process of building another mine, and we're conducting a fairly extensive exploration project on over 200 square kilometers in the oldest mining district second oldest mining district in Mexico. Cortez actually hid out at our mine site. And the mine we're operating right now was first operated in 1529. What's unique about us is, yes, we'll take amortization on depreciation. We've invested from operations almost $50 million, along with financings of $50 million. But we're cash positive all the time. And again, that makes us somewhat unique. We operate 4 underground mines, the Guadalupe, the Vedanega, which is actually an open pit but will soon be an underground mine, San Ramon, which has been in production since 2004, and Cuchara, which is a vein swarm of epithermal veins. It's complex mining. We're the best at it in Mexico. Our costs are lower than anybody else per ton. And as you can see, we don't do huge volumes. Our job is to produce silver at a profit. We actually have 2 existing mills. The one on the left is actually quite an old mill. We rehabilitated it when we took it over 12 years ago. It's adjacent to the Guadalupe mine, and the Guadalupe mine was 1529 was when it was first mined. The other one is called Kapiri. It's an open pit. It's going to be our next production. It's a volcanogenic massive sulfide, primarily lead, zinc, copper, silver, and gold. The operating costs, when we first built it, were in the area of around $20 a ton. The revenue at the time was around $30 a ton. Looked very good, and unfortunately, with the price of silver collapsed about 7 years ago, we shut it down. We're restarting it up. We are using an XRT unit to improve margins, and it'll be in production probably late this year. We're within a rock's throw of the famous mine, Tasco. And Tasco was the oldest mine in Mexico, first established in the early 1500s by the Spanish conquistadors. And to give you an idea of the sort of old mines in this area and district, there's 42 of these old plants located in the 200 square kilometers we have. 5,000 old mines, and we've only explored about 50 of them to date. As a team, we're all experienced in mine building. This is actually the 5th mine I've built. Unfortunately, it means I'm fairly old. But at the same time, it means we've been very successful in what we do. We run one of the tightest ships in the industry, and the experience of our people varies mainly from major companies. I actually used to be a professor in accounting of all things and ended up in the mining side, and also doing oil and gas with Total. This is the outline of the property. What it is a series of there's a volcanogenic massive sulfide down in the very south end. It's only about 40 kilometers from the famous Campo Morado volcanogenic massive sulfide. And then there's a series of epithermal veins that run as a cartoon here, northwest, southeast. Tasco is actually at the very bottom corner, so it's literally a rock's throw away. One is where we're producing right now, from the Guadalupe mine, the Veta Negra, Chapañal. Two is an area we simply haven't even been in. This area is so large that we haven't had our prospectors down there yet in 12 years. Three is the volcanogenic massive sulfide. We've got Kapiri. It's prepared to go into production. When it does, we'll drill a number of other targets in the area. And four is a deep, deep valley, about 350 meters below where our mill is. And what's interesting about this is you run high-grade silver near surface. As you go to depth, it turns into lead zinc at about 300 meters. Underlying that is a copper-gold district, and we think it's being controlled in the bottom of that valley by a large porphyry that's come forward. So quickly, this is the Guadalupe. It's in the north part of the mine, of our structure. There's a large structure running south, and those are all old mines in between that we've walked through, but we haven't been able to explore. In the south end is a very interesting one, and it's going to be our target for this year, Alacran. Alacran is the oldest. Alacran is produced since 1527. It stopped production in the late 1940, 1950. But here's what's interesting about it. This is a report, 1920, hand steel being driven. You'll notice that they're sort of dismissive of the 500-gram wall rock. They don't regard that as ore. They were actually shipping material that was running 20 to 60 kilos a ton to the smelter. Another report, only a year later, lowered that. They said 35 kilos a ton. We're not proud. We'll take 35 kilos a ton. We're going to be doing a 5,000-meter drill program on this, and we'll be draining it, and we're hoping it will be another Guadalupe mine. Give you an idea, at Guadalupe, this is an area just west of Guadalupe that we've just put some drill holes in. And what makes it interesting is there's a series of veins, not just one. And you'll notice the grades. We're talking over 4 or 5 meters, 2.8 kilos, 2.1 kilos of silver. We didn't bother putting up the golds in there, but there's gold as well. Exploration-wise, it's very attractive, and we want to go forward with it, and we will this year as well. You can see there's another bunch of other veins there we haven't explored yet. We've just found them, and we'll be exploring those. This is the town of Tasco. It's in the very bottom of that map on the right-hand side. All epithermal veins, and Herman Cortez actually started mining there in 1521. This is the Kapiri, the one I mentioned to you. It's a VMS, volcanogenic massive sulfide. We've pre-stripped it. It's a horizontal line deposit, but it's on the side of a hill. So the strip ratio is nominal. It's only 1.2 to 1. It does have silver, lead, zinc, copper, and gold. We're putting an XRT unit in front of the pilot plant, and it'll be in production by late fall this year. This is another one I mentioned. We have a porphyry at the bottom of this valley. These are veins that radiate off that valley, and this is an old mine working called Chapañal. Chapañal produced over 45 meters in height, 100 meters in length. The best channel sample we've done there was 97 grams gold, 97 grams silver over 0.8 meters. This area is just ripe with targets to be drilled. what also makes us somewhat unique is when you look at many of our competitors, including some of the big guys, our market cap is very low. Our working capital is very high. We have no debt. Everything's cash. We cash positive in the last 5 years. And our earnings per share are probably higher than most of our competitors as well. We actually have earnings. This is the unit that we're going to be installing. XRT, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's radiation. It basically it determines atomic density of the rocks. It eliminates the lower grade material, puts the higher grade material through. It's a well-established technology. And going forward, the intention will be that this is going to be doing our ore sorting at the Kapiri. It reduces your tailings, reduces your mill times, and at the same time, it's very efficient. It runs at 30 cents a ton processing cost. That unit is purchased right now, and it's going to be part of our startup of the Kapiri in the fall. Yep. So what we have right now is we're in production. We're the purest silver play on the TSX, TSXV. 2, we're expanding that production from things like Pachaqueño. 3, we'll be adding to that production this fall as we take Kapiri into production. 4, we have probably the best targets to drill and explore for over most of our competitors, over 200 square kilometers. Oh, and I forgot to add, I used to run one of the largest drilling companies. We have our own drills, and our cost of drilling is 1/4 what a competitor would be charging us. We have a 20,000 minimum meter program designed for this year, and that doesn't include any specific follow-ups on any new discoveries going forward. That's the story of Impact, and if there's any questions, we'd be pleased to answer them.